Hey guys, back for week 23 on the Poison Spyder budget build. Now last week, if you watched, we replaced the stock Trail Ready axial bead locks with a set of Vanquish Products SLW bead locks. Now, since we did that, I wanted to just go ahead and get this tire rolling stock completely finished up. So to do that, the foams were the very next thing that had to be changed. For that, I went to Crawler Innovations. I've known Eddie for a long time. He's been a friend of mine, but no matter how I know him, there's nobody better at tire foam than Eddie. So Eddie knows the type of situation that I'm doing with this truck. He knows that it's a rock racer. It's going to see some speed. It needs to have the ability to stand the tire up as it may be leaning into a corner, but it also still needs to be able to conform to rocks so that I can keep making that forward progress and put down some solid lap times. So for that, Eddie sent me his brand new foams. These are a one-piece closed cell foam. And this isn't just a single simple piece of foam. Eddie has come in and developed different radiuses, different grooves, different depths of grooves, all those things to make sure that this foam performs exactly like he's looking for. Now, I've tuned with a lot of foams and a lot of different types of foams from different manufacturers, different aftermarket manufacturers for different tires, different widths, different wheels, all different kinds of things. And anymore, I just don't question it, and I just call Eddie and I ask what I need, and that's what I get. So he's really taken all that work out of it for me, and I don't miss that at all. Rather than just installing the foams, I wanted to kind of touch on some of the differences and the reasoning why I'm doing it. Now, if I were to just take the axial BFG tires like I had before with the stock foams and transfer them onto these wheels that I had, I would get this setup here. This setup has the axial BFG tire with that stock open cell, fairly soft foam inside of it. Now, I ran this setup only with the Trail Ready bead locks when I was running this truck before. And what I immediately noticed is that I was getting far too much tire roll when I was really trying to get some speed. Now, where tire roll comes into play is when you're really kind of pushing in a corner or something like that, you end up with that tire folding under, and then you're almost running on your bead lock wheel. Now, another problem with a foam that is too soft is that if you're standing the rig up on its rear tires, trying to get that forward bite at a ledge or something like that, you can actually end up with way too much tire squat. And all that does is it lowers your truck down, and you may not be able to reach that next little lip in those rocks that you need to get that forward bite and continue on. So that was what I noticed with the stock foam that comes in these tires. Now, I've got a comment before, or a comment or two, or seen people do it in the past, or way back in the past mostly. We used to run some crazy things in tires. We used to run airsoft pellets so that they would support the tire a little bit, but they would put weight down low for us, but they wouldn't just stay there. They were weird. It sounded like a baby's rattle driving around on your living room floor. So I'm glad that those times are behind us. But there has been setups with running like no foam and sealed tires, something like this, and that is just a terrible setup. You need foams. Don't be fooled by the air systems or anything like that. You need a foam in this scale of a truck. This isn't a full-size car that's got a different set of tire designs going into them with all kinds of different variables. That doesn't really apply down to this scale. So you need to think about these things as you scale down a vehicle. Now no foam just takes all the problems that we talked about before and just multiplies them. So you'll end up with a tire just falling over, and well, this one is almost sealed. It even if it's 100% sealed, it's just not the way to go. I just mounted this on here real quick. I didn't even put all the bead lock screws on there just because it's not the setup to run, and I wasn't going to take too much time to install that. But you'll just end up with that wheel flopping around all on its side, and it's just a terrible setup in general. Now there's the point of water. Water in your wheels, in your tires, can definitely hurt your foams, and you need to pay attention to that. If you're doing a lot of creek crossings or running in the water, things like that, you need to disassemble your wheels and get that water out of those foams. A traditional foam like that will break down because it's an open cell foam. It'll hold the water in there and different things like that. That's another advantage to a foam like this. This is a closed cell foam. It won't hold the water. So this foam is waterproof per se. So another big plus if you're running something like this. Now, if you're thinking you just won't vent your tires, that's also not a great setup. You want to vent the tires. You want that tire to conform enough without having to build that pressure and fight against that on your foams on the inside. So vent your tires or vent your wheels. That's a personal preference thing. Venting tires or venting wheels. I vent my tires. I use a small pair of scissors and I make a small hole. I make 2 1/8-inch holes in my tire. Put it in the center of the tread, and it's never an issue. Water can get in there, the water can get back out. I can take it out. It takes a little bit of maintenance when you run in a lot of water or things like that. But these closed cell foams really help you not have to worry about your foams degrading so quickly if you get some water in there. These things will just break down. They'll also smell and mold and mildew, and you just don't want that. All right, now we're going to do a not so scientific test between these two different setups. One using the stock foam and one using that new foam from Crawler Innovations. This is the new foam from Crawler Innovations. This is that stock open cell foam that comes with the Axial BFGs. So I'm going to try and put equal force on these, trying to get an equal side load and just show you the difference in deflection. So I'm trying to make that as even as I can. I'm even giving a little bit more on the Crawler Innovation side right now. And you can just see that this tire is not going to fold over and ride on that bead lock like those stock tires do. Now, the other axis that you're going to put force on is you're going to put force into the tire. Now, one issue with a stock foam in these is that if you push too hard on these tires here and you allow them to collapse too much, do this on your own tires and you'll see that as you do that, the tread blocks collapse in on themselves and you end up with this big solid patches of tread without any lip to grab that rock and move forward. So you do want them to conform, but you don't want them to conform too much at the same time. And that was the reasoning behind those grooves on the outside of those tire foams, to allow them to conform but not conform too much that the tire folds in and you start losing your forward bite. So trying to put the same amount of pressure, I mean, it's just so much easier to press in that stock closed or open cell foam, and that's really the difference. So again, there's a ton of tuning that can go into foams. You really have to pick what works best for your particular situation. But if you're looking for just that little bit of speed but you still need it to perform in the rocks and things like that, I honestly think, my honest opinion is that these closed cell foams are going to be the set to go with. Alright guys, that's it for tonight. Simple little foam change, may not add a bunch of bling to your car, but in the end it's going to be one of the biggest performance gainers that you're going to be able to do for this little money. So that's going to do it for the upgrades. Make sure to watch out later this week for more updates on the new chassis. I'm going to keep trying to move forward on the design of that so that we can get this truck rolling into the construction phase here as soon as we can, because it's going to be a process that's going to take a while. So that's all I got for now. Guys. Share the video, share a friend. So that's all I got for now, guys. Share the video with a friend. Hopefully we can keep building this channel. Make sure that you go find those monthly updates and get in on the giveaways that I'm doing. I really want to keep giving back, and I think that that is a lot of fun, and I really hope that I can keep doing that and keep giving away cool things. And also, I may have something to give away once I get that new chassis done. I have no idea if you guys could guess what I could give away after I get the new chassis done, but make sure to watch for those updates, watch for the videos, and get back to it. So, that's all I got for tonight, guys. Thanks a million, and we'll see you guys next time.